Hi everyone, and welcome to Siinda's Voice of the Customer. We're delighted today to have Shauna Kilduff of Shauna's Pet Shop in Dublin, Ireland. Welcome, Shauna. Thank you very much for joining today.
Thank you.
Shauna, why don't you tell us a little bit about your business, like how you got started in it and how long you've been around?
Okay, so opened the store in 2011. I worked in the trade for 3 years prior to this. And then prior to working in the trade, I worked in finance. Due to the economic downturn, I decided to change careers to something I felt very passionate about, something I enjoy doing. So started in the trade in 2008 and then opened my own store in 2011.
So did that business experience, the finance experience come in handy when you opened your store, or was it all eye-opening as a business owner?
No. It did. Having working in finance and dealing with clients, I'm able to, deal better with my suppliers and then customers because I've already got that experience. And then opening a store in the recession, I was completely insane opening a pet store in the recession. Like in that time in Ireland, it was proper. It was hard. It was really hard. But by opening it in the recession, I was able to get into a good rent within my store. In comparison if I was opening it now. So yes, it was hard, but definitely paid off, and I'm very happy.
And what sort of things did you do to build your clientele? Because you're starting from scratch. I think you said you were in an old insurance office where you put your store.
So the store was an insurance broker before I turned it into a pet store. So it was just like an office layout. So turned it into a retail space. So it was a few weeks of crazy hours, crazy weeks, getting the place up and running to be retail operational.
And so how did you bring people to your door? What sort of activities were you doing over the last few years to build up that clientele?
So Facebook and Instagram, we now have started, we have on YouTube channels already. That's something we're going to focus on more now in the next year. Another thing that really helped with advertising was I have my own bag. So it's a Shauna's Pet Shop. It has our shop logo, our address, our contact details, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So the advertisement of having the bag has been a really good way of drawing people's attention. And then from there also creating a product and a logo for the store.
Yeah. So it's a real brand activity. That there's more to it than just coming in and buying your pet food, whether it's for birds or hamsters or other animals. But you also sell live animals too, right?
We do. We sell small animals, reptiles, fish, birds. Obviously, in pet shops in Ireland, we're not allowed to sell cats or dogs, and that's something that I wouldn't feel comfortable selling them anyways. So it would be small animals, birds, reptiles, and fish.
Because I picked my cat up from a shelter in Dublin, so
yes.
I have my cat running around, and I don't know where she is today. She's
was that the DSPCA? Was it?
Yes, it's the one with the peacocks running around and everything.
Oh, fantastic! Oh, they're great.
Beautiful.
They're great. They're great.
So I noticed on your Facebook profile that you do a lot of education. That you use that channel for sort of answering questions and highlighting things. Is that something that you've focused on over the last few years?
I focused on, but not so much. I want to educate people. I want to set a benchmark when it comes to pet stores and how things should be done in regards to animal, kind of more ethical when it comes to a pet store. Here in Ireland in particular, pet shops wouldn't have the best, I feel, overall reputation. They'd be kind of the idea of, profit over pets. And I wanted to change that because it is how I genuinely feel, pet over profit. So in that regard, we have a policy which is we ban goldfish bowls. So we don't sell fish in bowls, and we have minimum cage guidelines on the animals. So we try our best to adhere to the UK RSPCA's guideline for animals and birds when it comes to what habitat and enclosure they should live in, and what species of animals, if they have social needs, that they should definitely be sold in same-sex pairs.
Yeah. And how competitive is the pet shop business in Dublin or in Ireland in general?
It's quite competitive, especially in Dublin. We're all trying to get as much to get customers' attention when it comes on their social media platforms. So yeah, we are quite competitive, but we do help each other out as well. There'll be a few pet stores I'll be quite friendly with, and we do help each other out as well.
I didn't think it was all sort of cutthroat. But what's your most effective channel for reaching customers, do you think? Is it social media, or is it Google AdWords? Have you tried any of those sort of activities in your website, for example?
For the website, we've recently kind of chosen that platform to reach our customers. So I have been doing Google Ads now just for a few weeks, and it has really paid off. But
Hmm.
at the moment, it would be the platform of social media. It's not so much able to. The social media platform works for my store because it's not so much able to advertise our products, but the fact that we can have an instant connection through social media. So with the customers, they can ask a direct question, and we do our best to get back under an hour mark to answer that
Hmm.
question correctly.
That's
And that
great.
would be, yeah.
Do you find that social media, you really understand social media in terms of the options of advertising? I mean, answering and responding on your page, but have you tried any of the ad services, or any of the more quote paid Facebook products or Instagram products?
I haven't tried, and I haven't tried because at the moment I don't feel I need it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
very happy. I'm very happy with my reach. I'm
yeah.
very happy with how my customers are responding to our advertisements. We would receive through views, comments, and likes 4 figures for every post we put up.
Brilliant.
So a minimum of 1,000 people would respond in a way of they viewed it, they commented, they like it, and that's 4 figures
Yeah.
per post. So because I'm crunching those numbers at this moment in time, I don't feel it necessary to have to pay for advertisement. But
Oh no, I agree completely with
yeah,
that. That's a great
yeah,
assessment.
yeah.
So on your website, you have e-commerce functionality on that.
Yes.
Do you has that how long have you had that? Has that been a service you've offered for a while now, or?
No, just a few weeks. I was
Oh,
very lucky. Yeah, it's only a few weeks. I was I was very lucky that prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, I had started my website and my e-commerce build just after Christmas time.
hmm,
A great company there called FCR Media. So they helped me to, they didn't help me, they basically did it. I was just like, do this, do that.
yeah,
They were just amazing that they helped to, I'd already started in January, just after Christmas time. I just had a feeling it was really weird that we needed to really quickly change my platform for my store and have a broader reach to nationwide customers. So because I had the basic website done when the COVID-19 pandemic happened, I was able to quickly turn around what was happening to my physical business in city centre to be
hmm.
able to provide now customers with products and services. So I've only had it for a few weeks.
Because you weren't shut down, if I understand correctly, because
Nope.
you're an essential service because you
Yes.
provide uh, food
And that
for animals, basically. Yeah.
and and that has been a godsend, and it's been great. I still had a downturn of 60 to 70% with
Mm,
the COVID-19 restrictions. There was a lot of authoritative figures, as there should be, restricting movement on the main street. So if anyone knows kind of Dublin or Ireland, I'm on a street called Capel Street, and Capel Street is barely a 5-minute walk from the main O'Connell Street of Dublin city centre. So there
hmm.
was major restrictive movement around there. So customers could not even come down to our store. We had to follow the guidelines set out, which was to have no more than one customer in the shop. So we had to restrict movement by bringing the shop cash desk right to the front of the door. Customers were not allowed to come into the main retail part of the store. So I did have a downturn of 60 to 70% during this time. With then having the website and the e-commerce platform, that came back up very quickly for me, which I was very thankful for.
Great. Did you? I remember reading a stat from IEDR which said that 60 or 70% of Irish consumers said that they would buy more from the high street stores if they offered a click and collect service rather than going to Amazon UK or something like that with their free
Mm-hmm.
delivery. Um, so when were you offering click and collect or delivery or both or via your
Um,
store? Was that the
we're in-
focus of it, or was it just delivery only sort of thing?
Delivery only, because the authorities over here had restricted movement. I believe it was under, I think it was a 2 mile. I think now it's a 5 kilometer or 5 mile radius, but it was I think it was 2 or 3 kilometer radius is all you could walk to. So the vast majority of our customers, our store was out of reach for click and collect. That is something now that I will be providing my customers for, because 5 kilometers is now the new radius customers can travel. So, but at the moment it's been all delivery. I would say 90% of what we're doing from e-commerce selling is delivery.
And you're now nationwide, right? You said,
yes.
I think so. Are you noticing people picking up on you from Galway and other places, or?
Well, I have now what I never had before, which is UK customer base.
Wow.
Okay. I have now a UK customer base, because I have up the north. So all my Northern Ireland customers are now, I have now a new Northern Ireland customer base, because we're nationwide, not just the Republic of Ireland, we're nationwide to the whole of Ireland as an island. So it's completely opened up new territory for me, which is great.
Well, that really is. So in a way, it
brand new customers.
You know, we not every story of Corona, it's true, is a negative. To be honest, I think a lot of these things, they've spurred a lot of decisions, and a lot of I know several restaurants that now have a full takeout business that they never had before. It doesn't replace bums in the seat, as they say, but it does. When they are able to open up fully and people come back in, they've now got another business they can do in addition to that. And it sounds like your e-commerce has really opened up markets you would, off O'Connell Street, they're not exactly going to drive from Belfast to come shop in your store. But when they could do it with a click, it's easier.
What is amazing is, I don't know what happened, and maybe just my store just reached people, but yesterday we checked on Google platform, and our store now is #1 on Google when you check pet shop in Ireland, and I'm gobsmacked by that, because
really?
I'm kind of overstepped a few bigger companies.
And good for you. And good for you. I think that's exactly it.
So,
that's a fantastic story.
Yes, it's amazing, really, really amazing. I've got a great team behind me. 2 of my staff in particular, I'm going to give a shout out to them. It's Caroline and Lisa. They have just been amazing when it comes to the website, because as well as kind of working from home, because if you guys can hear in the background, I have a 10-month-old baby in the background. I can't be as much in the store to, protect myself and protect her with what's happening at the moment. And
absolutely. And those are challenges every business is facing in some degree or another. And it sounds like you found a way, and whatever your intuition was in January that started moving
really
you in
weird.
direction.
It was just after Christmas time, and I just had this really weird feeling that I needed to very quickly put the shop online. It's a really weird feeling I got, and I did it. So I had the bare bones done with FCR Media, so I was able to, because every small business in Ireland, when this pandemic happened, to keep their business alive, everyone was quickly hammering all the website companies, all the media companies, and they're overloaded with work at the moment, because everyone is trying to do the same thing I'm doing. Because that's at the moment, being on having a media platform, having an e-commerce store is at this moment in time the only way to not just succeed, but actually to survive.
I know Golden Pages is in Ireland, FCR Media. They're doing a lot of different e-commerce initiatives.
Yes.
One of the things I was going to mention about that, I'm assuming you're not doing much search engine optimization per se, but that you're top of the Google rankings for pet shops in Ireland.
But that only happened happened the last day or two, so I don't know why. Well, I'm not saying I don't know why that happened, but I'm still like, whoa, that happened.
Well, so it's because you have a very good platform. I think is the first thing that obviously Google looks at it and says, "Are you a credible business?" and a variety of other factors. And it's a well-built site. But it's hard to stay on top sometimes, because those other guys aren't going to sit back and just say, "Oh, okay, Shauna's on top."
I'm very competitive, so bring it, it's fine.
Terrific. Well, Shauna, thanks very much. I really appreciate your time and your insight, because it sounds like going from financial markets to pet shop markets has been a huge success. And even though it started in a downturn, and and you're in the business, and there's another downturn happening now with the pandemic for a lot of people. It's great to hear your story.
I don't think, from being a financial background, I don't think it's going to be as much of a dip as it was. I think it is going to be just a slight bump, but it will come back up very quickly. But I think how, as a world and as a country, we've all done business is going to completely change. Everything's going to be online. I can see the use of cash in particular starting to disappear.
Yeah.
And everything's just going to be.
Are you seeing a lot of card transactions versus cash transactions coming through?
95% is card, and I am trying to protect my staff by trying to majorly limit the use of cash, but that is more just to protect my staff more than anything else. But 95% now of our transactions is bank transfer, PayPal, or contactless card in the store.
Yeah, brilliant. That is going to be a big shift for a lot of people.
Exactly.
And it's a generational shift. Obviously, the younger generation are like, "What's cash anyway?"
It's going to be safety as well. You're going to see a drop in crime because no one's going to be coming into stores and literally holding them up because there's not going to be any cash anymore on the premises. So it's also going to bring another aspect of safety to small businesses.
That's really interesting. That's a very interesting point. That's something more for me to explore in more interviews, I think. So
you know where I am.
Brilliant, Shauna. Thank you very much for your time, and thank Isabel for being such a trooper in the corner.
She's a good baby. She's a great baby. Thank you.
Thanks, Shauna, and
thanks, Paul.
We'll be in touch. All the best.
That's great, Paul. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.